All right, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. As you guys are tuning in, hit that thumbs up button and get ready for another wonderful video. Now, before we jump into it, two things. First, this video sponsored. Today, we are sponsored by my very own day trading course, Merciless Markets University. And for those of you who are interested in getting started, we do have something sweet that's going on right now, and it's even sweeter than the 50% discount, which is already pretty sweet. We're giving away MMU Silver completely for free, which is the day trading basics slash crash course. All right. You guys can come on down on the website, select MMU Silver. You can see the actual price is 165, but if you guys apply coupon code subscriber, you will be able to join for absolutely free. Coupon code subscriber at checkout, and this will grant you guys access to a few chapters and a few live trading archives. But not only me, but also some of the other guys from the day trading team house. So if you want to get involved, if you want to check it out, be sure to utilize coupon code subscriber. Right, links are down below for that. Now, with that being said, let's talk about today's video. Relentless. We see that on the thumbnail. You're up $2,400 today. Well, to be exact, we're up $2,390.86. But as all good traders do, we will be rounding up, baby. Rounding up. So, the usual question, right? The usual questions that we'll get is, hey, first, how did you know which stocks to trade? Second will be, hey, how did you know where to buy and where to sell? How do you manage risk whilst buying and selling? Those are the typical questions that we'll get from somebody who's new, looking to learn, now getting across the channel, now, looking at what day trading is. So how are you able to buy and sell and regularly make profits? How do we make sure this is not gambling and this is just not he say, she say, up, down, left, right? Let's talk about it. So, here's a look at my trader view calendar, right? So in terms of consistency, right? The very first thing I'll say is that you'll need a strategy. You'll need a strategy. You'll need some sort of system that works, that's credible, all right? Luckily for you guys, my system does work and I am pretty credible. I am pretty transparent. With all the live streams that we have every day, it's all there. So let's talk about buying and selling, right? Let's talk about patterns and patterns recognitions. Guys, if you're new to the markets, you are going to need some basic skills. You are going to need to be able to read candlesticks. Candlesticks are, of course, these red and green, you know, things here that you see on the screen, right? That's the only way to be able to interpretate what's going on. This is how we can read the story that the market is telling. And as we know, even for the experienced traders, each candlestick means something. It depicts something. It's a representation of strength, weakness, and volume and so forth. So when it comes down to the patterns that we were looking at, Relentless, what patterns did you take and how well did you manage your risk for your entries and your exits, right? What entries and exits did you take? So let's take a look at the stock SPRC. We got our 1 minute time frame in the upper right, 3 minute in the upper left. Bottom right will be our 5 minute. Bottom left will be our daily time frame, right? So these frames are measuring the stocks accordingly. And so in terms of painting a picture, in terms of some, I forget the word I usually use here, but let's paint the picture. Context. There we go. For context, we got a high of 1049. This is at 8:55 a.m. this morning. Stock goes from 770 to 1049 out of nowhere. A lot of times this happens because of breaking news, some sort of headline. All right, but this one we've seen it over the last few days. It's kind of been in play. People had it on watch heading into the new day, and it pushed up, and then ultimately it came back down. Right, this is early this morning over here. There we go. Yeah, pushed up, then came back down. So for me, into the open at first, I wasn't sure. We want to see volume, right? We talk about supply and demand a lot in economics class, but what does it really mean in the stock market? A lot of these stocks, will have high floats. Let's take a company like Bank of America, for example. Shares outstanding that's available to the public. It's really high. So there's a lot of supply. So when a company like Bank of America has breaking news, the stock isn't able to really go up in 100, let's say 100% in one day, right? There's just too much supply, for the demand that's out there. There's a ton of demand, yes, but the supply is just so vast. When a stock like SPRC, instead of having hundreds of millions of shares available, it only has 10 million shares available or less, right? And so what that means is that if there's enough people watching at a stock like this, it's very possible for the demand to be so high, the supply to be so limited, that it creates a parabolic supernova kind of a move. And that's exactly what we're going to see in this one. So the volume this morning was very light. So I was at first skeptical, but I was aware of it because it was hitting my scanners for stock that made a big move pretty early, right? But look at the volume down here. It goes up and then to non-existent. Flat lines, like you're watching in the hospital flat line, right? So I'm like, man, this thing is flatlining on the volume, doesn't look great. I might not trade this thing. But I kept it on watch, and that's the purpose of having a watch list, right? The scanner that I use is called Momo Pro, and Momo Pro scans the entire market under a specific criteria that I use. I have a filter here that scans first, and then you can see SPRC is literally at the top of the scan right now, even still after selling off. But I'm scanning for a decent percentage gain, good volume. You can see 17 million shares. And as mentioned, the float on this one is less than 10 million. In fact, it's at 280,000. So it's really low. And again, supply and demand, right? That's what we just spoke about. So relative volume is pretty high as well. Volume relative to prior days, right? You can see 600% today. So I'm watching at those criterias, and for those reasons, I kept this stock on watch. Were there other stocks that I kept on watch as well? Yeah, of course, right? Stocks that have this same type of potential, ones that maybe might have even looked a little better into the open, right? So we got into the open, and initially the volume again was still on the lighter side. From there, we consolidated for a while, and this thing started to then around 10 a.m. pull away. High of day at the time was at 9:25. We got over that level, and around 10:07 a.m. is when we really started pushing up, breaking over 10, and from there continuing higher. So we're going to talk about the halt pattern, which was the main pattern that I traded here after this thing gave a huge green candle. So some people might say, hey, Relentless, why would I possibly watch at this stock up here? It already made such a big move. But guys, sometimes I'm still watching to buy high and sell even higher. And the basics of what this pattern is that we resume higher, right? So we halted up and look up a circuit breaker halt if you have no idea what it is. But the basics of it is that if a stock is going up or even down too quickly, it can be paused. Trading can be paused, and usually, for 5 minute intervals, assuming it's not a market-wide halt, which are a little different. They can last longer, right? But anyhow, we resume, right? The basics of the pattern, the halt pattern. From a high of 11:59, we resume at 12:41. So of course, if you're holding shares anywhere, whether it's right at this level, lower down, if you're holding shares, 5 minutes later the stock resumes, and it's like instant extra gains, right? Extra gains instantly from 1160 to 1240. That's like 80 cents if my math is any decent here. So I'm gonna pull up my E-Trade platform. I don't know why it's like looking like, why is it? Let me get rid of this. We don't need this. Okay, so this is my E-Trade platform, right? Let's look at the same stock, SPRC. SPRC, this is a little bit of a better depiction. In fact, it was a 10-minute halt. That's a bit of a better depiction of what it looked like. The dotted lines here are a little bit better of a depiction, right? Representation. So we get halted at 15, at 25, 26 we resume, and this thing rips. And so what I'm looking for here, can we dip? Can we rip? And sometimes it's more so like, can we open? Can we rip? Right? Can we dip? And then can we continue? right? And so maybe we put this more like this. So can we open up? Can we get a small rip? Can we get a dip? Can we get a big move up? That's essentially what I was looking for. And is this a high risk trade? Hell yeah, it is. I just lost 400 this same week on Tuesday taking the same trade. But I understand what it means to take on risk, and I accepted the risk here. I didn't go crazy because I didn't want to go super red if I happened to be wrong, but I did accept that, I could lose. And so here is this was earlier, we traded stock VS. We're not going to really talk too much about this one. If you guys want to see it, you can, of course, check out the archive. But anyhow, so here we are, stock SPRC. This is where we're halted up real time earlier this morning. For the people who they think that this is fake trading, all those comment section warriors, if they would take the time to investigate and actually watch a recap, watch the live streams, they'll realize quickly, like, holy shit, this is the real deal. So let's come back. So here we go. Resumption is coming up. This is the trade I'm looking for. You can see I have 1,200 shares here. I'm using the order entry on the left-hand side. SPRC. I do have SPRC open in the middle with some more shares. My hotkeys at Thinkorswim are not super intuitive. I don't mind doing it the old-fashioned way like this. So there's the resumption. Can we get the pop? It gets to 60. I'm watching for the pullback here. And as it's flushing down, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go for 12 bucks. I'm going to go for 12 bucks. I buy into the spread right there. I get filled on the ask, of course, which is at 16, a little disappointing. But look at the resolution and the follow through here. The moment I am in, look at where we are. 1260 by 1290. And as mentioned, I did opt to use smaller size. I could have been in there with 4,000 shares if I was being aggressive. Even more aggressive than this position. But on the days that I'll do that will be the days I've already been making money. I was essentially flat. I was only green 255 before the resumption. That's the only trade I'm going to show here. The students will have full access to this video to rewind and fast forward as they please. And in the class that we're giving away, right? In the class that we're giving away, we talk about this same exact pattern. So if you want to see it in more detail, right? The halt pattern, the halt pattern, the halt pattern, the halt pattern. Going back to the examples, look at this stock on this day, VVOS. Look at how many times this stock got halted up and down in one day. Guys, look at this example here, KALA. Look at how similar it looks to what we're seeing now. Man, they can I'm very proud of myself. I'm not an arrogant person. I'm not ever bossy, but I am pretty proud of this course. This course, the thing is, it's like we can advertise and we can promote as much as we would like to, however much we want. By the end of the day, people will be people, and whoever knows knows. Whoever knows knows. This is the real deal, and this is what we do every day. And my only hope, I'll keep praying. I just, I hope that things only get better. And I think they will. I think things will get better, in terms of a macro view. More and more people will become aware of the market over time as more people continue to get access to internet over time. I think the stock market will continue to grow in relevancy and in capital and equity. And I think ultimately over the next, decade and more, the stock market will continue to be the greatest accumulation of wealth known to man. So I think we're in a great space, and this is only the beginning. But to look back through the classes and see these same patterns over and over, the explanation of how we want the trades to work, I mean, it just doesn't get. I mean, and look at the follow through in KALA after the wedge. I mean, just insane, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyhow, For those of you watching on, once again, if you want the free classes, utilize coupon code subscriber for 100% off MMU Silver. Get started on your education today. Day trading is hard. Day trading is difficult, but over time, through hard work and consistency and high discipline, it's possible, right? And that's how there are people like me and Marcelo, Tim as well, who are here every day bringing it to you. All the guys you see in the day trading team house, right? Hardworking traders, disciplined traders, people who are willing to go above and beyond and be very disciplined in what they're doing. And here are my executions for the day. These are all my order executions for the day. I have nothing to hide, man. Every and any and everything that I can show, I will show. At this point, people want me to show my social security number, my password, and my username, but only an idiot would show that much, right? At a certain point, you gotta set the barrier, set the boundary. But this is a bit of a longer recap. Started off very beginner friendly, but wanted people to understand the type of patterns and setups that we look for. And there are over 20 patterns here in the classes. But yeah, guys. Other than that, feel free to check out the Discord. The Discord is where it goes down. This is our day trading chat room. Of course, today was a half day, so we did head out early. But yeah, our day trading chat room is where it goes down. Feel free. We now have almost 5,000 members here in the chat. It's absolutely incredible. Be sure to check out the team. And you can always come here to see how traders did on the day. We have a section where the P&Ls are being posted. You can come and check it out. We'd love to have you guys a part of the chat. All the orange names, by the way, are students, right? So keep in mind that there are people who are using smaller share size depending on their experience and their time in the market. All right, so we had Jessica Small Green, George, who was slightly red to start the day. And I say slightly because I know how well he's been doing, right? So it's $400 loss, not too bad there. Oh, really nicely done here. 350, pretty good. And I gotta make sure to hit the emojis as I go. Small share size, SPRC making 64 cents. 66 cents here, pretty good, pretty good. Not bad at all. Start live. Small green, we'll take it. Keeping it simple. GK, nicely done. Minus $4 here. Not bad. J, green $1, not bad at all. Vizzy, $36 there. Nicely done. Well, actually, no. Let's see. 274 and $36 in commissions. Tim, the other mentor, one of the mentors here in the class is 8,500 today. Absolutely incredible. We got Salve in the building. George again. This is me telling Tim he's on fire. This is also my P&L. I'll give myself a thumbs up. Coming down, we have Marcelo, the other mentor. 2,500. 2,500, the other mentor in the community. Green Dream, 1K. Is this all 5,000 people in the chat room? No, but people will post whether they're red or green. Different people will post. Yeah, and we have Danny plus 900 and ended up going red. So he'll be back. He's a top tier trader. Will be back in no time. So yeah, it's been a good run. It's been a good day. We'll continue to trade. We'll continue to push. We'll continue to be disciplined, and we'll look forward to a great end of the month and a great end of the year. With that being said, hit that thumbs up. Check out the classes. Check out the chat room. It's been Relentless Trader, and I'll catch you guys next time.